Golf Today continues on this Tuesday. Time now for Manager Expectations presented by Arccos. We welcome in Lou Stagner, Arccos Data Insights lead. Great to see you, pal. Let's start off with average two-putt distances for the tour players that really good. The average is 33 feet. What about the average Joes, first mere mortals for two-putt distance?
Yeah, it's a good question. And thanks, Damon. At Arccos, we want to help all golfers manage their expectations so they can enjoy the game more. And so much of that is having a better understanding of your game. With Arccos, you can track all your shots and get actionable insights about your game. And we have a lot of data. Arccos members have hit over 550 million shots, which is pretty extraordinary. So what does that data tell us about two-putt distances? As you mentioned, tour pros, they average two putts from about 33 feet. Scratch players, it's 28 feet. 5 handicaps is 20 feet. 10 caps is 16 feet, and 15 handicaps are 13 feet. And what I want to point out is from each one of these distances, what this means is that the make rate is about the same as the three-putt rate. So look, if you look at a 10 handicap, they make as many 16-footers as they three-putt from 16 feet. People are always surprised to hear that number.
Wow, I'm surprised to hear that number, Lou. What if I'm having a good day with my ball striking? I'm hitting a bunch of greens. Shouldn't I expect my putting stats to be good too?
You know, it's a really interesting topic here. The better you hit the ball in a round of golf, the more likely you are to lose strokes putting. So you're going to putt worse as you hit the ball better. And this holds true across all skill levels. And it also holds true when I control for a specific skill. So for example, if I look at only 5 handicap players with similar ball striking skill, they are going to putt worse the better they hit it. So next time you have a really good ball striking round and you don't putt as well as you think you should, you're behind the 8 ball a little bit because it's tougher to putt when you hit the ball well.
Does time of day matter? I mean, this may sound crazy. What about when I play my rounds? Will that impact kind of my putting stats? Sometimes the sun's going down. You know, maybe you can't see where the ball's going and you stripe it down the middle anyway, but then you get on the greens. Does time of day factor in this at all?
Time of day actually has a pretty big impact on putting. The later in the day that it gets, the tougher it becomes to putt. And this is due to grass growth and foot traffic. Both of those factors contribute to the greens getting bumpier. And the bumpier the greens get, the tougher it is to make putts. And so depending on skill level, the difference per round is anywhere from a quarter shot to about a half shot a round in difference because of the bumpiness of the greens. So if you play a lot of your rounds later in the day, you are in a situation where it's going to be tougher to putt and tougher to make putts. And the opposite's true. If you play a lot of your rounds early in the day, it's going to be a little bit easier to putt on those smooth greens.
I like that. All right, Lou, we've heard this a lot through the years from broadcasters or your best friend even. Your worst putt is better than your worst chip. Is this true?
You know, we've heard that forever. As long as you played the game, you've heard that. The old Texas Wedge. And I want to start and give a few examples here. So if you have some fairway to putt through, so 5 to 15 feet roughly, so you're just off the edge of the green. Mid to high handicap players, they average about a tenth of a shot lower with the putter in that situation compared to chipping. And their worst putt is going to have an average proximity that's about 3 to 5 feet closer. So their worst putt is going to be better than their worst pitch. Now, this starts to change as your skill level improves. As you get down to low single digit to scratch player, outside of 60 feet from the hole, they're going to typically be a little bit better chipping than they will be putting. Inside of 60 feet, they're going to be better with their putter. Now, what happens when you get a little bit farther away from the green? So 15 to 25 feet from the edge. Our mid to high handicap players, they're going to be 0.15 to a quarter of a shot better with the putter, which is a big number when you think about it. And their average proximity on their best putt is going to be about 5 to 6 feet better than their worst chip. But like everything else in golf, it depends. These are not hard and fast rules, but general guidelines. every situation is different, which is why it's so important to know your stats. Using a tool like Arccos to understand your tendencies is not only going to allow you to work on the weaknesses in your game to get better, but it's going to help you better understand what type of shot you should try to hit in a given situation so that you can score as low as possible.
That's all we want. Everyone wants to get just a little bit better. Lou, thanks for helping us out, and we'll talk to you next week. This is a lot of fun.
Thanks, Damon. We'll see you next week.
All right, Lou Stagner with Arccos Golf, and coming up, much more on this temporary restraining order hearing out in California. Starts at 4 p.m. Eastern. Our final thoughts coming up next.